Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that ants, those tiny, tireless creatures that scuttle across sidewalks, picnic blankets, and forest floors, have suddenly vanished from the earth. At first, it might seem like a minor inconvenience, perhaps even a blessing for anyone who has had their sandwiches stolen by these industrious insects. But the reality is far more complex, and the consequences of an antless world would ripple across ecosystems, agriculture, and even human life in ways we are only beginning to understand. Ants are often overlooked due to their size, but they are ecological powerhouses. Globally, ants number in the quadrillions, and their biomass is estimated to rival that of all humans combined. They play multiple essential roles in the environments they inhabit, from tropical rainforests to arid deserts. One of their most critical functions is soil engineering. Ants burrow and tunnel through soil, creating a vast network of underground channels. These tunnels aerate the soil, allowing oxygen and water to penetrate deeper and facilitating root growth for plants. If ants disappeared, soil structure would degrade over time. Compaction would increase, water infiltration would decrease, and many plant species would struggle to survive, leading to cascading effects throughout the ecosystem. Furthermore, ants are prolific recyclers of nutrients. Many species feed on dead animals, fallen fruits, and organic debris, breaking them down and returning essential nutrients to the soil. This decomposition process is critical for maintaining soil fertility. Without ants, the breakdown of organic matter would slow significantly, resulting in nutrient-poor soils and diminished plant growth. Forest floors, grasslands, and even agricultural fields would become less productive. Farmers would feel the impact acutely, as soil health is a cornerstone of sustainable agriculture. Fertilizer dependence would spike, increasing environmental pollution and economic costs. Another vital function ants perform is seed dispersal, a process known as myrmecochory. Certain plants have evolved seeds with fatty appendages called elaiosomes, which ants carry back to their nests as food. After consuming the nutritious coating, ants discard the seeds, often in nutrient-rich soil ideal for germination. If ants vanished, many plant species would struggle to reproduce, particularly in tropical and subtropical forests, where ant-mediated seed dispersal is a dominant mechanism. Over time, this would reduce plant diversity, altering forest composition, and diminishing habitats for countless other organisms. Predation dynamics would also shift dramatically. Ants are both predators and prey. They consume a staggering variety of small invertebrates, including pest insects like caterpillars, termites, and other arthropods. Their disappearance would remove a key population control agent from ecosystems, allowing certain insect populations to explode. This could result in massive herbivory pressure on plants, further stressing ecosystems already dealing with climate change and habitat loss. On the other side of the food chain, numerous animals rely on ants as a primary food source. Anteaters, pangolins, some bird species, lizards, and even certain amphibians would face immediate food shortages, potentially causing population crashes or forcing shifts to alternative, less ideal food sources. The impact would extend beyond terrestrial ecosystems. Ants influence nutrient cycles that eventually affect rivers and streams. By moving soil and organic matter, they contribute to the transport of minerals and nutrients into waterways. Their absence could subtly alter the chemistry of aquatic systems, affecting organisms that rely on consistent nutrient inputs. Additionally, ants play a role in controlling pest species that might otherwise proliferate and affect crops and human structures. Without ants, termite populations, aphids, and other pests could surge, posing new challenges for agriculture and human habitation. The consequences would not be limited to ecology. They would also affect global climate processes. Ants influence carbon cycling in significant ways. By decomposing organic matter and moving soil, they accelerate the release and sequestration of carbon. Without ants, leaf litter and dead organic matter would accumulate at a higher rate, slowing decomposition and potentially altering carbon storage in soils. Over time, this might contribute to increased greenhouse gas emissions or changes in local carbon dynamics, compounding the challenges of climate change. Interestingly, the effects of an ant extinction would also manifest in unexpected social and economic spheres. Consider human agriculture. Many ants protect crops by preying on herbivorous pests or even by farming aphids in balanced ways that minimize crop damage. Some ant species act as natural biocontrol agents, reducing the need for chemical pesticides. Losing ants would necessitate increased pesticide use, with consequences for both the environment and human health. In tropical regions, where ants are deeply integrated into agroecosystems, farmers might face significant yield reductions, leading to economic strain and food insecurity. Beyond agriculture, ants contribute to scientific and medical knowledge. Ant colonies are studied for insights into social organization, collective intelligence, and chemical communication. Losing ants would halt ongoing research into these systems, potentially slowing discoveries in fields as diverse as robotics, network theory, and social dynamics. Ants have even contributed to pharmacology. Certain species produce antimicrobial compounds that inspire new antibiotics. Their extinction could mean the permanent loss of untapped biomedical resources. The disappearance of ants would also have a psychological and cultural impact. Ants feature prominently in human folklore, art, and education as symbols of industriousness, cooperation, and resilience. They serve as a living reminder of how small organisms can have outsized impacts. Their absence would create a subtle but pervasive void in the natural and cultural imagination, a reminder of how interconnected life truly is. In the short term, some human observers might notice immediate relief: fewer ants in kitchens, picnic areas, and backyards. Pest control costs might temporarily decline, but this apparent benefit would be fleeting, as the ecological disruptions would quickly cascade. Without ants, some ecosystems would collapse, invasive species might proliferate, and food webs would destabilize. The loss of biodiversity would echo far beyond the tiny role ants play individually. They are ecosystem engineers, nutrient recyclers, and keystone species whose absence would reverberate across landscapes and climates. In conclusion, the extinction of ants would set off a domino effect of ecological consequences. Soil would lose fertility and structure, plants would struggle to reproduce, herbivore populations could explode, predators reliant on ants would starve, and nutrient and carbon cycles would be disrupted. Agriculture would suffer, economies could be strained, and scientific and medical research would lose invaluable subjects. While ants are small, their collective impact is immense, a testament to the principle that even the tiniest organisms can hold entire ecosystems in balance. Losing ants would be like removing the linchpin from a massive, intricate machine. The effects would be complex, far-reaching, and largely irreversible. So the next time you watch a line of ants carrying crumbs many times their size, remember that their tiny bodies carry the weight of entire ecosystems. Their disappearance would not just be a missing nuisance in our homes, it would be a profound biological tragedy, reshaping life on Earth in ways we are only beginning to understand. In the end, ants are not merely insects. They are architects of our planet's ecological stability, and their loss would be a catastrophe felt by every living creature.